Hello everybody and welcome back to Hint of the Week. It's the weekend and I have a for instance for you. We're in our little building where we did the pocket doors, where we did the Venetian blind, and this for instance is, you've got a room, you've got a huge TV, you like the look of this little thing and it's just too small. So my for instance this week is, can we recreate this in a way that actually will be big enough so it doesn't look lost against the TV? So the first thing I would do is not sell it. I'd see what it's made of. Now obviously we know that it's made out of oak, and the front is actually plastic and it's white. So we know the two things that we need to use, and we also know that this is very thin, so it's more than likely made of the shelf. Now if we go to the shelf, you'll see that it automatically comes up as oak. And if I put it next to this little thing, it's pretty much the same depth as that, which is great. So that would be number one of our building blocks. The next thing of our building blocks would be my favorite would be our stripy decorative wall laminate. And again, we'll select it in oak to start, because can you see the oak there? But the next thing we'll select it in will be, we know it's plastic, we know it's white plastic. There it is there. The only other thing we're going to need will be the legs. And for that, our little building block, if you measure it up to the legs, it's pretty much double what the legs are, and we cannot take it down any smaller. But the good news is, because this is going to be bigger, we are not going to stress about that. So let's take this away, put this on the wall, and then we can stretch the heck out of it. I don't want to move it, I want to resize it. Okay, so let's have a look. Do we want it slightly bigger than the TV, or do we want it the same size as the TV? And you'll see it's not that much bigger, but it is going to be a little bit more in fitting with the furniture. Now if I do that, we can then make it the same width, so it will fit in with any other furniture that we have in the room, and we can then copy that and we can slap it on the wall here and it will fit perfectly. If it doesn't, we can move it down to, now I've got the grid snapping on, which we will need, but we don't need it right this very minute. So that is the same height, top and bottom. Next job would be to see how many of these we need to actually fit them, because these go all the way along at the back there. So we know, you know what, I'm going to put the leg in first. There is our little leggy there. Let's put it here, and we're going to stretch this and then move it and paint it and make it look, I did it, didn't I? I always do that, I drop it. Okay, let's resize our leg to the height that we need, which is awesome. It's lined up, which is great. And then we're going to copy that and just drag it to the other end. And we'll be able to see if you look at the top here, and that's why I prefer to actually not color it. You can actually see it's in the right position there. Once that's done, we can actually then take this and pop it in. I'm not going to be crazy pedantic about lining this up completely because I don't want to keep you here forever, but we will check that it's lined up at the back of the item. It's going to only fit in this section there, which is fine, but we want it to fit nicely. Okay. And I think that's going to look pretty good. And you'll see I'm just lining it up mostly against the wall, and we can just shuffle it along as we need it. You can see each one of these is a little uneven. And by evening it up, you'll actually see now and then it gets a little crazy. Okay, keep going. This might take a little bit longer, but it's okay. Well, let's put the grid snapping on to turn it. It's always good. And then let's make, wait, how many we're going to need? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. You see, with the grid snapping on, you're going to have them lined up at the back. And they're always going to be in the same line. But if you don't want them to be 100% on the grid, you can take it off. And now, as you can see, this is not quite lined up. So let's shimmy some of the stuff across. I'm not stressing about it. I'm going to leave that to you to stress about it, because obviously you want your final product to look really good. And I'm going to just leave a little bit more of a gap in the edges of here, because we're not going to see it with the lines in front. And as you sort of shimmy them into place, you'll be able to see. The other way to do it would be to line these all up and then build your shelf in front of them. But that will give us an idea of exactly why am I floating. Now the fun part comes when you want to resize it, because you want to resize it from the top and you want to resize it from the bottom. So each one of these, and you'll notice I take it past the the tabletop here, because if I don't, do you see that? If I bring it just to the top here, it could have that effect and it's going to be distracting. So that's why I am pushing it past the surface. So let's do all of these. Boom. No, not boom. Go on. I think that should be fine. Nope, that's not fine. That's fine. Okay, now can you see what's happened here? Is every now and then you can actually get to a place where you can't quite see what's happening on both sides. You want to do that and then come back and do this bit. It's also okay. Okay. Yes, it's not exactly 100%, but that's fine. Now we can do one of two things. You will see here there is a piece that runs at the back there. There's also a piece that runs here. So we're going to take our trusty little block, and the nice thing about this block is you can flatten it right down. They at some stage decided it wouldn't just totally disappear unless you do that, and then it's gone forever. It's not quite the right size, but we will make it the right size. Does that make sense? And then we're going to put it again halfway across. Oof. There. And then we're going to move it into that wood. No, not that. I want that. And that will actually make it the right width. So we're going to use what we know. We're going to use plastic. Can we use plastic on these blocks? No, we can't use plastic on these blocks. That's fine. We use white paint. It's behind, so it's not. And then we can resize it as we get these in line. So we know there's a leg there, and we are going to take one of these and we are going to push it there, and we are going to put it there. So we now have the legs on the table. Now all we have to do with this is line it up, and if it's the snap to the grid isn't working, just use precise placement. And you can make it whatever size you want. I think that will work. Let's just resize our little block here. We are in the cupboard. Is that going to be too much? I think so. Let's do that. That's fine. We can actually shift it into, well, if you're standing here, it works fine. Now we can put that at the top here as well, if we so wish. Yes, I know I'm diving into the shell. I don't want to put it right on top because we'll never find it again. So we're going to lift it up, pull it in front there, and now we can proceed to make sure our grid snapping is on or off, up to you. And do you see how that is there? That is smaller. Take it down one. There we go. You have your resized furniture. Now, obviously you don't need to copy what they have, but I've discovered that a lot of the stuff that they do have is possible to make. The soft furnishings, not so much. But the rest of the stuff definitely is possible to make with the blocks and the various things that are available. So let's stand up, take a step back, and it looks a bit chunky because I think that block right there needs to be moved up a bit more. I don't know if we can reach it. Yes, we can. A little bit more probably, but that is not bad. And then we just have to paint the legs. And we know it's the oak. And we know we want to paint it that way. And yes, I'm not going to paint the back of the legs because it's not necessary. But there you have the original and our piece made out of shelves, the wall pieces, and our building blocks. And the nice thing about it is you can actually place things on there, and you can put, well, not that box. You can put something inside there as well. So it's not one of those things that you actually have to worry about. To resolve this, there's one of two ways to do it. You can literally just move it down just that much, and it will take the flicker off. The other way to do it is to bring it up slightly and then color it, and then move it down, and you can see it through there, but it stopped flickering because the color is the same. But I prefer just to do that. And now that we move that other one, there you go. So I hope that was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have lots of fun creating stuff, and have a good weekend. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.